He's doing a push-pull, which means he's already done the pull for the lats. Now he's gonna do the push for the chest. You may have heard me speak before in regard to incline presses. If you were to stand in front of a mirror, put your arms straight out, draw an imaginary line from one arm to the other line, and ask yourself, what percentage of my pecs are above that line? What percentage is below that line? You would discover that almost none of your pecs are above the arm line. So when you're doing an incline movement, of course, you're going toward an area that is above your arm line. So what are you moving toward? There's no pectoral muscle up there. It's not like your pectoral muscle is on your chin or on your nose. If you were moving in that direction and there was pectoral fiber here, you'd be right on the money. But when you're going straight, as you would on a flat dumbbell press, you're already hitting the highest pectoral fibers on your sternum. You're already hitting upper fibers. So the pectoral muscle is a downward pushing muscle. So anything from flat to decline and to extreme decline is all pectoral movement. Anything above the shoulders is not. It's mostly front deltoid.
That's what we're doing here. Obviously, we really focus on the negative of the movement because that is going to help build more development of the chest. And as we come up, power, working right across here. And up, squeeze, there you go. Working negative. And up, drive, squeeze, there you go. It's important the speed is good on this thing. Up, here we go.
I'll tell you one thing I do like about what his form is. Now, again, I don't recommend incline presses. If he was doing this on the flat or on the decline, the important thing is that the forearms are vertical. That means that it's a neutral lever and the bicep and the tricep are playing as small a role as possible. Anytime you're doing a dumbbell press of any sort, that forearm should be vertical.
And up, drive. Yes, good set. We don't like to do these movements where your elbows are really flared up wide because it does put a little more tension on the shoulders. We try to drop the elbows down a little bit.
Oh, then that's an interesting comment he made. You know, I'm not going to make an absolute rule about this, but generally speaking, from a physics standpoint, it's best to have the operating lever traveling parallel to the muscle fibers you're working. So by bringing your arm up so that it's perpendicular to your torso, you are mimicking the path of the fibers of the chest better than you would if you drop your elbows down. Once you start dropping your elbows down, you start not traveling parallel to these fibers, and you start traveling a little bit more parallel to the front deltoid fibers. So, now the reason I said I want to make a rule about this is because some people lack a certain amount of flexibility in the shoulder joint. And they can't quite get their elbows up high enough. They've got calcification, they've got scar tissue, they've got previous injuries they've healed from. You know, in a perfect world, we would have enough flexibility in our shoulders to do the right form. From a mechanical standpoint, if you can comfortably get your elbows up high enough so that your upper arms, your humerus bones, are perpendicular to your torso and you're traveling parallel to the fibers of the muscles, you've got the best mechanics for pectoral development. Once you start dropping down, you start getting out of the pathway of the pecs and into the pathway of the front deltoids.
As long as you're keeping your chest volumized, lower back arched, keeping your shoulders and your rhomboids pinned back, you'll save a lot of the shoulders.
The problem with a lot of this stuff is that most people don't experiment with any kind of exclusivity. If they were to do this exercise and this exercise alone for 1 year, and then evaluated how much progress they made with just this one exercise, and then, well, maybe not even a full year, maybe just 6 months, and then took another 6 months and just did the decline press, and then just evaluated the comparison of the two, it would be crystal clear which one is better. But because people don't do that, people are afraid to do that, they mix everything up, and then they end up with some degree of development, and they don't know how much development each of those exercises contributed to the overall result. And so they assume, incorrectly in my opinion, that the incline presses contributed to their upper pecs. But I believe very firmly that the decline movement will work as much, if not more, of the upper pecs, certainly, than the incline presses.